Emma here from Be Unstoppable and the creator of the HR Big Meet, coming to you very excited this Thursday lunchtime because I realise that tomorrow the HR Big Meet 2025 is only 5 weeks away. So we are getting to the stage now where we start finalising our outfits, finalising how we're getting there, telling you all the information that you need about the logistics. And there's just something really cool about us all coming together and getting into a room and having a really bloody brilliant time. Today's live, I've got another guest joining me so that you get to hear what the experience of the HR Big Meet is like. We've had quite a few now. If you go back on the HR Big Meet LinkedIn page, you'll be able to see all of them. And also we have a YouTube channel. We're that fancy these days. So I'll link those in the comments once I finish this so that you can see all of the chats that we've had with people who have been there and who are coming back again, because it wasn't terrible. That's not a benchmark for an event, I know, but clearly there's something about it then because they're coming back for a third time. So I have got another guest with me today. I'm going to bring it on straight away. And please let me introduce you to the fabulous Penny Jones. Where is she? There she is.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Penny. How are you today?
I'm really good. I'm very excited to be doing this. This is my first LinkedIn live thing.
Ooh,
It's very exciting.
I love making people do difficult stuff.
What a great topic to do it on. I couldn't think of a better topic to start talking about.
Penny, I remember year one, you came along and you came up to me in one of the breaks, I think it was, and you gave me a badge which said slightly sweary and remarkably articulate or something like that. Which I just absolutely loved.
I had completely forgotten about the badge. That's so funny because I've been following you for such a long time on LinkedIn. I think on LinkedIn it will have probably been. And then I was just like, I've got to go to this event. I've got to go. It just sounded right up my street. The energy sounded brilliant. Something that was a bit like rebellious and a bit fun and a bit, because I'm ex-corporate world, so I think that all really appealed to me. But I'd forgotten completely about the badge. That's so funny. Absolutely.
I loved it, and I've still got it, and it's up on my wall. I've got
One of the things I really loved about the events, like both events that I've been to, so this will be my third this year, is just you just get to bring yourself to the event. You get to bring you in whatever form that is. And both of my experiences, they're quite different because I was in different places when I went to both of them. And I think especially the first one, because you were in the first one, so you probably wouldn't have seen this. I was sat really close to the front and there was a lot of people sharing like quite personal stories about their journey through HR, but with a really personal view of their journey. And I like sat through one of them and just cried. And I was like, I am not a crier. By the end, I was like, I feel like I've had a therapy day as much as anything, because I think I hadn't realized how maybe disconnected I felt 2 years ago. It was post-COVID. We were all figuring stuff out. And it was such a brilliant day for so many reasons. The people on the table I was sat with, but I remember just thinking it was exactly what I needed when I needed it with that first one. I loved it so much.
That's amazing, because it wasn't it. The first one was a couple of years after COVID, and we still weren't really used to being in a room. I think we were all, as I say, being in a room with people. We've gone through not being allowed to do that. So getting in the room, it really was special year one, if not just for the fact that we'd made connections online with people and now we were getting to meet them. It felt nice for that, didn't it?
There were so many people there that I've never actually met in real life that I'd connected with over the years, that like came up and they were like, oh my God. And then you forget, Katie Walton was there. I've never met Katie before. Massive hug from her. Met June Hogan, who I've been working with for donkey's years, never met her in real life. So that ability to connect with all these wonderful HR women was just amazing. It was just, it just felt like a huge boost of energy throughout the day. I loved it.
Yeah. And you've been self-employed for a long time, haven't you? So we have a mixture of people coming to the HR Big Meet, some of whom are like us, who are self-employed. And for me, my network's the best thing about being self-employed now is it's just grown exponentially since I was in-house.
Yeah.
So we've got people like us, and then we've got people who are in-house, who are exactly where we were and not necessarily pouring into their network outside of work
Mm,
because how busy are we?
absolutely.
So so for those people who are in that category or
Yeah.
thinking, "I may not know people in the room," what would you have to say to them about they can expect from being there?
So I would say for people who are in-house at the moment, I think with the amount of change that is coming and the amount of pressure that I think HR have experienced over the last at least 5 or 6 years now, our network has become so much more important to us because we can't keep up with the pace of change and
Mhm.
the amount of stuff we are supposed to know. And this event is not a technical event. So if you think you're going to get a legal update, whoa, no way. But actually, getting that personal network support, I think, is such an important part of HR. I think HR can be cobbler's children a little bit. When we're in house, we're so busy looking after everybody else that we're not looking after ourselves, or there's no one looking after us. So being able to build that network and then take all of that support and care and experience back with you into your in-house role, I think is so valuable so that you can reach out and go, oh, I had a chat with somebody on one of the tables about something through the course of the day, and they're worrying about the same thing they are, and they're also in tech or manufacturing or whatever. And we're going to have a quick call and just share some pain or some personal experience or a document or whatever. So I think the real value is just knowing how supportive you are within the community. And everyone's so friendly. It's just such a nice way to connect with people and find you're doing the same job in a different company or whatever, but you're also feeling the same pain, feeling the frustrations. And I think that for me, it would be where, from an in-house perspective, I think that's where I'd really get value from this day, is building that network and supporting connections.
Thank you. I think that's exactly what part of the event is designed to
Mm.
do, is just to say, actually, you're not alone in, yes, dealing with the things that you're trying to deal with from a technical kind of in purely work-based perspective, but also from that as a woman within HR, you come along and you realize, oh yeah, I'm not the only one struggling to get heard by my leadership team. I'm not the only one worried about that I'm not confident enough. I'm not the only one wondering if HR is even for me. But also, I'm not the only one who absolutely bloody loves HR and really it's a vocation to me. And I feel like you could cut me open and there's HR running through me. So you mentioned like year one felt like a therapy session, and then year two was different. Tell me about that. How was year two different?
I think year two was different for a number of reasons. I was in a different place from a work perspective. So the business had taken a little bit of a pivot. And I think because of year one and the network I was starting to create and the connections I was starting to create, there was a different buzz about seeing year two. So year two was very much see you there, can't wait to see you. And year one, I'd gone on the train. I'd got like the 6 o'clock train down to London. I was shattered. I was getting the train home again. It was a long day. Year two, I was like traveling down the night before. I was staying in a hotel. I'm going out with people. I'm going to be there all day. I'm staying for the after party. We all had a little dance afterwards. And so it was like, I'd made it a much bigger thing for me about this is about space for me to connect with my colleagues, my network, to meet new people, to spend time together. So I was really excited to be coming. And obviously, then on top of that, we had the whole, because I got to do a panel last year with some like absolutely wonderful people. So with Marcia and Nikki and Penny Haslam. And we had this build up of meetings where we were like working out how the panel was going to work. So I think there was just this buzz around it. And obviously the event was there was a lot more people coming that second year. So I think there was a real excitement around what's it going to be, who's going to be on stage, who we're going to see. There's so many people that I want to see this year. So there was a real buzz around it, and that's how I feel about it. I can't believe it's only 5 weeks away.
No.
And there's, like I was saying to you before, I got a text yesterday from someone who's in a corporate role who's, hey, I've bought a ticket, I'm coming, but can I come with you? Because I don't think I'm going to know anybody when I get there. I was like, yeah, you'll have so many friends by the end of the day. So for me, that's what the second year was just. I don't know, it was just bigger and better and more exciting. And we were dancing and we were singing, and it was just such a great, like, energetic day for us.
For anyone who's coming along who's in that position, I've literally this morning been drafting an email about some, I'm calling them speed networking sessions, which is essentially a chance before the event to come and meet some people. You can come and have a chat and meet a few friendly faces so that you have someone that you can walk in with on the morning. So I went to an event recently myself and I didn't know anyone there. And it is really hard as you're like,
It
I
is.
know I come across as really like, particularly on stage, right, really gregarious and I could chat to anyone. And that's largely true, but make me have to go and start talking to someone straight away. It's all kinds of icky. So
It is.
we're really trying to take that away from you this year. And so you'll be invited to come along to some speed networking sessions. You can come into the online community ahead of time as well and chat to people in there and make some arrangements to meet with people. And on the day, I've mentioned it as well, we're having super connectors whose job it is to look out for people who might be on their own and just check in and say, do you want me to introduce you to some people? So hopefully we're taking a lot of that away from people. And I know, Penny, if anyone comes up to you, you're going to be well happy to chat to them too, because you're like old hat now.
I'm with you because I'm the same. I used to go in and I used to hate them. And I now have given myself an unofficial job that when I get to any networking event now, my job is to look for the person that's on their own and go and find that person. Because in my head, I'm helping them rather than going, oh, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know how to like interrupt this conversation.
Yeah.
So I've given myself that job as a way of getting over myself at the beginning of these networking things. So I've actually put your speed networking sessions in my diary so that I can come and just reassure them that they're going to have a great day when they get there.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
as a tip for networking as well, just to make it comfortable for yourself. And that reminds me, there's a networking freebie on the HR Big Meet website as well. So tips for how to make the most of it. You can go over to the
Yeah.
HR Big. Do you know where you can go? You can go to the QR code, which is really easily there. I'm so smooth. You can get the QR code, hrbigmeet.com. There's scroll down to the bottom, there's like resources, there's a blog, there's free resources. Grab those. Just
Yeah.
know that you're going to be in a supported space to come and build the network that we've talked about.
I have a question for you actually.
Mm,
You say I like, I am a bit of a tigger when I get to these events. I like seeing everybody.
yes.
But I do sometimes also get a bit like overwhelmed with it all and need a minute. And there will be people who will be thinking, oh my God, this sounds like my idea of hell. And so I know I'm going to need a minute through the day. Now, I know in previous events you've made sure that there's space for people. So is that something you're doing again this year?
Yes, definitely. There is going to be a dedicated kind of quieter zone. I say last year there was a room. I'm not sure there's because we've got the workshop rooms. There won't be a dedicated quiet room, but there'll be a quieter zone, which will be signposted on the day. And also, when the workshop rooms aren't in use, people are welcome to go and
Yeah.
sit in those rooms as well. I'm also really excited to have a lady called Sarah Tansell on board this year, whose work is making events great for people to come along. So she's been giving me lots of advice on how to make it inclusive from a neurodiversity perspective.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff that I didn't even really know about, like a sensory guide and stuff like that. So we'll be producing that. I say we, she's kindly volunteered to do it for me. And she's going to be there on the day as well to just be a neurodiverse super connector. So anyone who wants someone on the day who
Yeah.
understands she'll be the point of contact for that. So yeah, the quiet space is I get to go into a green room and not be around everyone, which is great. I need it, but there'll be quiet spaces for people to do that if they need to.
We had I'm trying to remember who.
And we operate, I say we, the HR Big Meet operates on the principle of come as you come as you're comfy. So that's wear what you want, wear the shoes that you want to, come dress as a rainbow if you want, come in tiny and black if you want. But that also means if you I know some people bring like fidget toys. So anything like that you need to bring along to feel comfortable is entirely welcome. This
Yeah,
is the whole point of the Big Meet, is that you're not expected to be anything for anyone. Just come and be yourself and take from the day whatever it is that you need. And you've talked about what you've got from it too, Penny. This has been a really great conversation. Thank you for asking me those questions as well. What do you have anything that you haven't said that you'd like to finish on before we go?
I think from my perspective, I think we've had over the events that I've been to so many different styles of speakers, some very experienced speakers like Lucy Adams, to people who were really nervous and just starting out on their journey. And I loved the vulnerability we saw on stage. And what I really loved was how the audience absolutely got behind the people on stage as much. So you just got that real. Everyone wanted everyone to do well on the day. So I loved that it was just such a wonderful, supportive experience. So I'm really looking forward to coming this year. And if there is anyone coming that doesn't know anybody, come find me and I will introduce you to people.
You've actually made it your job to do that now. Brilliant. Penny, thank you so much for chatting to me. If you want to find out more about the event or get your ticket from what you just heard, there's the QR code. We're both pointing at it. But also, if you have any questions about the event, if you want to know what we're doing to help you feel comfortable or what to expect on the day, then you can comment on here or you can send me a message and I will be happy to help. So thank you again, Penny,
It was
and take care, everyone. Bye.